AITA for trying to plan a graduation trip when my budget is way higher than my friends? I am 20 years old, and today I started a group chat about planning a girls' graduation trip to East Asia with friends I have known for about 3 years. I added 9 people to the chat, but I expected most to say no or drop out. Many of them often cite money as a reason they cannot join plans. I recognize that I am privileged, my parents cover all my expenses, which is not the case for most of my friends. But I still believe it is okay to bring up a trip idea. Since it was my suggestion, I told everyone I would look into hotel options and mentioned that round-trip flights would be around $500 per person. I am quoting prices in US dollars, though we do not live in America. I had already talked about this trip casually with about half the group a month ago, and when I created the chat, I made it clear I was serious about making it happen. I originally wanted to go to Japan because I had just returned from a family trip there with my parents, both around 50, and I loved it. But I missed doing fun, youthful things like visiting themed cafes and anime spots, which I could not do with my parents. One friend mentioned Japan was introducing a new tourist law that might make it more expensive, so we looked into alternatives. Korea seemed cheaper, and my uncle said flights from Korea to Japan can cost under $200, so I briefly suggested adding Japan as a side trip. But I quickly dropped that idea when I realized some friends might face visa restrictions I do not have. So I said, let's just go to Korea. Soon after, people started leaving the group, saying they could not afford it or that their parents would not allow it. One friend, Lee, who is 24, said she would not be coming due to timing, she is traveling to Canada, and cost. But she asked to stay in the chat to lurk. Then she proposed a total budget of around $1,500 for the entire trip. I made a light-hearted joke about staying in Hongdae, a popular area in Seoul, referencing a viral TikTok meme. I included a screenshot of a hotel booking there and added a tone indicator to show I was joking, just in case. Lee responded that the hotel looked too expensive. I clarified it was a joke, and we moved on. Later, I tried to research realistic options based on her budget. I mentioned it to my dad, and he laughed, saying I would need at least $5,000 for a trip like this, and that $3,000 would be a more realistic minimum. I shared that with the group, explaining I might have underestimated costs. Lee immediately replied, "That is insane. Not feasible for most people. You are being selfish. This is only day 1 of planning. Nothing is booked or final. The trip is months away, so there is plenty of time to adjust." I even followed up with more research and said a total budget of $1,000 to $1,700 per person seems more accurate for all expenses. I also made it clear I do not know how much others can or want to spend, I am just trying to find a middle ground. So, am I the one in the wrong for how I am handling this?